So all palette knife. Now at the end, you know, you can use a brush if you want to tweak things, but I thought I'd just do all palette knife because I made that promise. So let's get started. I'm anxious to get on this thing. Got all my Alexander paint, got my Alexander medium. I haven't changed the palette this time because I wasn't 2 hours into it. Usually that palette gets changed every 2 hours. All right, let's see where to start. Okay, so I'm going to get into a little medium, Alexander medium. I should bring this over, huh? Bring it down here. Touching my brown, back to the burnt umber. Kind of seems to be the whole theme of this is that warm color, that burnt umber. A little touch. A little bit more. You notice I'm real careful with the blue. That's a major part of this whole thing. Be careful with the blue. Stirring it up. Now I'm not making a glaze. A glaze is when I have more medium and you can really see the palette. I'm going to pull it this way, get it on this side because I'm going to come to this and get this a little darker. I wanted to get that darker. Now I'm going to go the other way because I feel like I'm running into that palette. Let me see here. Now it's a little dry. Wow, see that brown really dries up the painting, guys. You want to rely on the burnt umber for a lot of your paintings because it has such an intense drying property. All righty, let me use the small part of the palette knife. Get this bottom area. All righty. If you mess up, you can clean up with more light. Get it in. Bring it down. Put it a little more. I don't want to lift this up. I'm tempted to do it, but you know, I'm kind of struggling to get in. If you had this a little higher, it'd be easier to do. There you go. All righty, we're looking good. We're looking good. Go back up here if you're brave enough. Make it a little wider. Just remember when you're doing, oh, this is a kind of a rule, guys. Excuse me, when you're doing dark, sometimes it's going to take a few times to get your dark because darks tend to lighten up on you. They tend to lighten up on you a lot. So like you'll see a black on your canvas when you start, but in reality, that black won't stay black very long. It'll actually go down to about 5 tones. Looking at good, looking at good. You know, when you sit down and paint, you got to get on, kind of get in the mood, you know. And you know, this copy on this painting here, this picture over here, it looks the same as the picture, but it doesn't look the same as the painting because none of this looks textural. So I'm actually doing a pretty good job considering you can't feel the texture or see all the nuances that are in there. So when you see the painting in real life, it looks a lot more textural. See how I'm holding my hand the way Buck did? See how Buck was holding his hand when he did the little tree area? Got to give Buck a lot of credit. That guy's pretty awesome. Look at that. Why do I want to put rays coming out like this? See, like if I look at that lamp, I want to put rays coming down like this, like a clock. 12 o'clock, 12 to 6, 11 to 5. I just want to put these rays coming down. All right, so now, that's how I roll. Now I'm going to go back to my light color. It's already made from last time. I'll just kind of mix it up. A little on here. I'm going to hit the right side of this post. And what I'm going to do is just tap it on the outside of it. See if I can get some on there. If it doesn't come off, you got to attack it again. So it's not coming off well. I got to get a little more. Actually, I need to loosen it up. It's a little thick. Because okay, there you go. This is why the Magic White's so good. Sometimes when that paint doesn't come off and it's just plain white, which was most of that was just pure, just plain white, it was really hard to get off. So watch the difference now. So I had to bring it down and make it a little thinner to make it workable. Now that should go on. And hallelujah, it did. Went on better. Okay. A little bit more at the top, a little more white into my tone. That's not the thick white. That's the thick white out of the tube. That's the Magic White. I'm going to go up here on the outside. Don't shake. Don't shake. I had a few coffees this morning. Don't shake, Tom. All right, you see that? Frank likes that part. Huh, Frank? Good. Good. You're going to have to do that, Frank. All right, now over here, guys. I am reaching. I'm coming over here now. I'm going to get some light on this building. I'm going to go a little lighter. I'm going to put more white in that. I just grabbed some white. I want to brighten this up. Okay, that's looking good. Just kind of let it float down. Don't worry about it. Good job. That's all I want to do is splatter that light in. Now, like I said before, time to dry brush, our dry knife. This is where you get the craggy mountains. Like if you're doing Bill's Mountains, here's another thing. Look at the way that's breaking up. If you're doing Bill's Mountains, sometimes you could let this sit and get a little dry, then put your highlights on Bill's Mountains, and then just, when you hit it, do this. Pat it down, and it gives it that broken effect. Can you guys see that? That's kind of a good thing to learn. All right, now back to the palette. So like if you're doing Bill's Mountains and you really want to be able to control the look of the snow on the mountains, you can, that's brown in this dark again, guys, and thinner paint. This is thinner. You can take the, a little more brown. You can take the snow, put it on later, put a little bit on there, just put a little up there and then just go pop, 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 pop like that. And you'll get Bill's nice craggy mountains if you can't do it in one stroke. Good tip. Okay, so these need to come up a little higher. Okay, a little more. Now I'm going to lighten it up with a little white. Make it a little grayer. There you go. That's what I want. I want a little bit of dark for close, and I want a little bit of gray for distance. So pay attention to that part because that's important. So see how I draw a little bit? So you got these little things going up here. And then, and I don't know why the artist did this, but it's just in there, so just go for it. There's all these lines going up that they're just in there. They're all over the place, like this. I'm just lifting up the same color, guys. And then there's angles going down this way. It looks to me like the artist just decided to put some filler in there. Okay, a little more brown. And now a little bit more blue again. And a touch of medium, just a touch. Remember, your Alexander medium is it's so pure that just a little bit goes a million miles. True story, guys. So there's all these things happening here. I don't know what they are. I'll be honest with you, I have no clue. As I'm painting this, I'm thinking about the Pink Panther, the movie, the old one with Peter Sellers. That was a great movie. It made me laugh so hard. Shot in the Dark, I think that was the name of it. Okay, so now these are just, now some of them aren't even accurate. They're just like, I gotta stop trying to be an architect, perfect architect here. Okay, I want a little dark in here, fix that. I'm picking up the same dark, guys. Going up here now. Digging through yesterday's material. I'm gonna wipe this off, add more brown. Add more blue. Same stuff, brown and blue. Now, excuse me, as you're painting this, a thought came to my mind. You know, you can paint this in a sunset scene. Do it all in sunset colors. And then if you do, use a lot more violet in your painting, because violet's in a lot of sunset. I hope that was a good tip. There's a lot of violet in sunset paintings. Okay. Tom, you're on a roll. Thomas Anderson, you're on a roll. Funny how all this comes together when you're getting down to the end here. I mean, I'm getting away with it right there. Sometimes these things are more of a struggle. I'm just grabbing the same color, you guys. I hear somebody's mic is off and they're making some strange noises.
I forgot, I should have reminded everybody beforehand. For those of you that are new on the call, we've got to make sure that you keep our mics muted while Tom's doing the presentation, otherwise he gets the feedback.
Well, I just don't want to ruin it, Lori, for everybody else, right?
Right, right.
Right. I want everybody to at least hear what I'm saying, and all the distractions don't help. Okay. Yeah. Not being mean, I'm just being honest. Okay, so now I'm going to get more of this dark. We want to give people what we can. We don't want to, you know, a little more of this dark. This is just brown and blue. I'm hoping that everybody has fun watching this and we're not being distracting. So I'm going to get underneath here with some dark tone at this angle and just pull it down in here. So this is a shadowy area. Shadow, kind of a shadowy area. I'll go this way if I have to. Now that's pretty dry, so watch that and watch this. It's very dry, so watch what I'm going to do. I have two choices. I can grab medium or I can grab white. Let's see what happens if I just grab a little bit of, well, let's grab some tan color. Forget the white. Let's grab the tan and see what happens. See that? So let's grab the tan and see what happens in here. You kind of learn this stuff when you're painting. You just, sometimes you'll put this stuff on. You go, well, what should I have done? Well, if I use the tan, I can mute it and soften it. White would have made it a little grayer, a different kind of gray. All right, so that kind of helped. Look, see, I'm catching it up, kind of cleaning up the holidays a little. There we go. See that? That was kind of fun. Now, I need that dark there for the next phase. Sticking with the dark, I'm grabbing a small part of the knife with the brown and the blue. See, I'm just using the small part. I got a paper towel in my hand, by the way. Look. Now we got windows here. So what you can do is count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a lot of them. Start in the middle if you want. A little more dark. And then just line everything up if you can, just kind of like this. Don't be too accurate with it. I'm going to make more brown and blue. Okay, I don't need to move the camera. Good. So as I go back here, obviously they're going to be smaller because you're further away. And as you come closer, they're going to be just a little bit wider. See? That's kind of nice, huh? Oh, by the way, I'm doing my circle thing. I start mentally going this way all through the canvas so that we can have that balance of color everywhere. And actually it works because this color is in the sky. These browns are all down here and over here. So I'm circling the wagons, you guys. I have to do this in order to get a good likeness to the painting. If I just hit a sky and then make a new color here and then make a new color there, it's disjointed and nothing actually flows like Tiziano Vecellio. Well, I told you yesterday, you want the painting to have a good balance of color all throughout. So here comes another window. And another one, and keep it kind of iffy over here because this is the edge, and I told you about the edge of a painting. You don't really have to do that edge well, especially in a palette knife painting. It should look kind of rough and kind of impressionistic in a sense. Actually, all paintings have a lot of impressionism in them. All right, now it's looking pretty nice. See the building? Got highlight on it. It's got things. Now I'm going to go for some blue. Watch this. I'm going to take my blue and go to my reflective color, which would be, so this is my dark base. This is my highlight. This is a mid color. And this is my reflective. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then highlights would be like little spots of white everywhere. Here comes some, okay, magic white in that. Ready? Let's do it. So over here, there's an awning that's coming down. Kind of overlaps this building just slightly. Kind of just drop it like this. Drop the paint down. And then watch this, Frank, if you're painting this guy. I think I heard that when I walked in the room. At the bottom of that, just to clean it up, just take your knife and run it this way, and that'll make it straighter, and then pull down on that a little bit. Isn't that special? I like that part. Okay, now, add a little bit of white to the edge of that. And then we're going to, there's some stuff going on top. You need highlight. Come back and hit it again, here and there. Boom. That's it. Just do a little bit. Leave it. Now what we're gonna do is, inside this dark, we have some action going on. It's kind of that tan color, so we're just gonna throw it up there. So I'll have to make it. So here's my yellow into the tan area. Permanent red's good. And then a little bit of the white. And then look at that. That's kind of fleshy color now. You can make a portrait with this, by the way. By the way, all portrait paintings are based off of landscape paintings. I read something, a Renaissance concept, that if you can make a landscape colors, you can actually make portraits, because all the colors in land are the same colors in portraits. Bam! Anybody get that? That's kind of fun.
Tom, when you come back to the palette, we might want to change the angle of the camera because we're having a hard time seeing you mix the color. So when you're mixing into the paint.
Okay, how's that?
Yeah, that's better. That's much better.
Thank you. It's hard to judge it, you know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lori.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Is that good now?
That's great.
All right, now. Is that good now? Good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be touching this inside here, a little bit of action. Here you don't want to get too busy because it's just stuff going on inside and down at the bottom. So you don't want to go overboard. Just kind of get some in there. Something. And that looks fantastic. You see that? Sometimes a little goes a long ways. Now we're going to go back to dark again. I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. I want to take this little bow out up here. There's a bow in that. It could happen. It is in the original. So I'll just put some dark over it. You know, a long time ago when I used to do all my videos, it was like everything seemed to happen at the last minute. So if I do this, if I put a little dark over the top of that, you can give the illusion that it's straighter. See that? It just kind of almost straightened it out. Just a touch of it. All right. Now back to people. We need people. So more brown. A little more blue. A touch of medium, because I could see it was getting thicker. Am I in the right mixing spot? Is that better, Lori?
That's good, Tom. Good. That's really good.
All right, now I'm just going to use the tip of the knife, you know, pick up the knife and kind of just use the tip of it. I just scraped it up, made like a dollop of dark on the end. I know it's kind of everywhere, but there's more of it right there. All right. This is all about just putting the people in and not trying to overthink it. You know, just get your little mannequin idea. Pull them down. Turn the knife when you get here so that you can get the legs in. Now, sometimes you're going to make stuff you're happy with. Like I want to put a little dog here now. Oh, look, that's it. I saw a little dog there. I also want to put a bicycle guy over here riding a bicycle, but I'm not going to do it. But you could do it. I mean, you know, just a little bit of drawing skill. So now I'm going to put another person here. Kind of just let it fall down. Use the tip of that knife. And just kind of think in your mind how people would look on the ground. Then turn the knife for the legs. And don't worry about it because you're going to put clothes on there in a minute. You're just getting these little skeleton forms. You don't even know if they're perfect yet. I'm going to get more brown, more blue. Using the tip of the knife, think of it this way. If you're if you're Irish, it's tip of the morning to you. So now it's all perspective. So they're larger, they're smaller, and these people are going to be right about there, and they're not going to be as tall as they are because they're closer. So just offset a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Put the head in, put the chest in, and the midsection, and that area down here. Just now, if you don't see it well, don't worry about it. Just grab more paint. That's all I did. Get it in, and then bring the legs down. And try not to be too accurate. I'm being a little more accurate than I should be. I'm just trying to show you how to get it started. All right, I'll put some light in here. It'll look good in a minute. Okay, a little more brown. They're very ghostly looking at this point, but then when I put the color on, they get better. Okay. I'll bring it way over here so you can see it better. All right, so they're walking along. Okay, and like I said, sometimes when you're not trying to do it great, you could do it better if you're just kind of winging it. A little more. Just same stuff, guys. I'm not doing anything special here. Kind of the leg bent. You never know. All right, a little more dark in there. Now, if you want the clothes really light, you're not going to put a lot of dark in. So now we have to judge this. They're closer, they're further, and they're further away. Hopefully I nailed that. Let's back it up. Concept's there. It's sort of there, and I'm not really trying to overthink it. So now I'm just going to put some light on them. I wanted a red cloak on here because blue next to red is always a good thing. Let me try it. I mean, it's not in the picture, but I'm going to go for it. You know, in the Renaissance art, he'll put the red in here to mute it down because they're not very close. So it'll be red, but it won't be a bright red because only bright red would be in front of you. So if I put it in this concoction right here, which has got the yellow in it and stuff, and a little bit of this color, it kind of tones it down. That will be further away, and it'll probably look better because of the nature of distance. You got to remember things like that. If I just grab permanent red and put it right back there, that would be a no-no in the world of art. Because the gray's on there, it's helping to mute it too. Okay, let's try this again. A little more white into that. Or just grab white. Whoa, don't want that much. There we go. Now see, I wouldn't put a lot of bright red there because that would only be here in the foreground. I wanted you to understand that, everybody. That's a big deal, by the way. You know what? I'm going to put some phthalo green in there. I don't see any phthalo green in the painting at all, but I'm going to go for it. Phthalo green's a pretty color. All right, there's phthalo green on the palette. Uh-oh. I'm veering off from the original. What does that mean? Ooh, look at that. That is beautiful. I love phthalo green. In the next painting, I'm going to be using phthalo green because I love it so much. All right, let's put some phthalo green on this because it's kind of cool color. And if I do the phthalo, look how nice that is. Even though it's muted. Wasn't that wonderful? Makes you happy. Phthalo, Phthalo green's a very nice color. Now these guys have to be muted even more. I'll put a little highlight on that phthalo green. I'm just going to grab some white. This is just white, guys. I'm going to see if I can do a little extra touch. There you go. Look at that. And now that I did that white there, excuse me, I'm going to see what I couldn't do yesterday. I couldn't get it on because the white was hard. It was too muddy. I'm going to come over here and see if I can get this on here now. Nailed it. Frank likes that. I saw you smile, Frank. I nailed it. Okay. Now, let's see. Now I want to go back here and clean that up a little bit. Oh, I wanted to add white down here first. Let me do. Now, see, I'm just kind of like, oh, what do I do? Okay. How about a little thicker magic, thicker titanium white and magic white together? Hold on.
Thanks.
This is your thick impasto white, and this is your magic white together. So I'm going to hit this ground area and lighten this up a little more, laying on more texture. See? Don't worry, I'm not going to avoid these guys. I'm just trying to do what's really cool at this point. Now I'm going to go this way, break it up a little. That gives it that nice palette look. You see that? Then watch this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take a little tone of that red just off the edge, and I'm going to put it in this dark area down here. Good job, Tom. Just leave it splattered. Don't worry about it. Now, I said I was going to do this yesterday. I'm going to take the dark I have, a little more brown in it. And this is much thinner than these colors right here. And I'm going to take this a little more brown, it's warmer. I could add a permanent red to it, that would warm it up more. But I want to fix this angle. So I'm going to come back in and draw this angle out like so, giving it more perspective. See, I'm dragging that down. I want to open this up like the angle is a little more dramatic. Right here. And don't worry if that's a little too dark, because that's my idea. And then I'm going to put a little bit of dark in here, move it around a bit, and soften it. I'm going to get to them in a minute. Then I'm going to take my knife and kind of pull this stuff. See, I'm hitting this dirt. On purpose. This is all on purpose, guys. And I want to clean it up a little. See? Looking good there. Looking good. I like that part. Okay. Now I'm going.
Tom, I was looking at your palette and I was thinking, because we have a few new people on today that weren't there yesterday, they may be wondering why all of those red dots are down your palette. I thought maybe just for the people that weren't here yesterday, you could explain why your palette looks the way it does.
Okay, here it is. Your red colors are all transparent colors. I mean your dark, the red to the phthalo green to the brown, the blue, and the violet are all transparent colors. So when you mix down here, you can make glazes. And all of your lights can go on anything over here, period. It's that simple. So like, but I usually, excuse me, I usually leave this alone for a while until I really want to do something dramatic, like highlight something really intensely. So let me explain that, Lori, as long as you're there with that. If I take this, see this white over here is for what I call the extra bright lights. So if I take white here and I add my yellow to it, and even if I want to make an orange, these are the cleanest bright lights I can get. Because to tell you the truth, this is, I'm so glad you brought that up. Listen, to tell you the truth, most of the painting that you paint, no matter what you're doing, 95% of it is all mud. Now that's the opposite of what everyone is thinking. You have to make these muddy colors so you can put the brightest lights on top. Delacroix was a great French artist, and he said, give me mud. As long as I can paint the colors I want around her, I can paint the skin of Venus. So this is a critical thing. So let me show you what this bright yellow does now that has no mud in it. It's called spotlighting. If I want something super bright, like, let's say I go back on this clothing. That's much more bright. Frank loved that part, didn't you, Frank? See, that's what you want to keep this in mind. This is only this side of the palette where this yellow and red is and white is only 10% to 5% of the painting. Let's do something else with it. Watch this. Good question, Lori. I'm so glad you asked it because, you know, sometimes I'm on a roll and I forget all that stuff. Now up here in the light, I already made it bright light, but what if I want to spotlight this just a little extra intensity? Bada boom, bada what? Bing. You know, I'm kind of semi-retired, so this is fun for me. This is a joy. I'm telling you. You know, when you heard Buck the other day saying how happy he is when he paints, there is something going on here when you paint. You're kind of having a great time. I know. Anyhow, so there it is, you guys. Now, if I want a little extra light right there, I wouldn't use the mud over here. I wouldn't use the mud over here. I'd go back to this. Now, I could even make a pure good looking orange here. You know what? I wouldn't put that pure orange, though, back here on these people. The reason for that is because they're too far away. So my brain is thinking, what can I do with those people back there? Well, watch what I'm going to do. I won't spotlight it with the pure colors. I usually save this to the very end. And that's when I go in and I add the lights that I'm kind of missing. Oh, wait a minute. I could do this. Watch. This is kind of fun. Watch this. I just saw this. Watch this, guys. And you just have to be patient. You kind of have to wait for this. Remember when I did a little light over here? See, the first time it doesn't show well. So you're going to spotlight. This is called the spotlight technique. This is what Rembrandt would do. This is what Caravaggio would do. This is what, Thomas Kincaid would have done. The spotlighting effect. And a lot of people don't do it. They don't get to that level. Now I want to add something to these people back here and then do something else. Did I explain that well, Lori?
You sure did. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm painting most of my painting in mud up to a certain point. I don't know what I want with these people back there. Maybe just a kind of an off gray. All right, here we go. So here's a dirty color. This is good. So I wouldn't use a pure color in distance because you're not going to see it well. Well, white is just white. All right, let me go for it back here. They look like they're wearing the same kind of clothes almost. Boom, boom. There you go. Little mark there. Flavor there. And oh, that was good. And I still want to put somebody on a bicycle coming this way. Don't ask me why. I just feel like that. Maybe with flowers in a basket. How would that be? Yeah, that looks kind of good back there. See the blue-gray color? The blue-gray color looks great back there. Now, I did some graffiti over here. I'm pretty sure everybody's staring at that like there's no tomorrow. And I didn't finish it because I knew I can clean it up. So I'm going to take some brown. I'm going to take some brown. This painting is requiring a lot of burnt umber, by the way, because of the colors here, the warm colors in the building. It's kind of important. And I'm going to kind of get into this brown with a little more magic white in it. And I'm going to kind of get into this now. It's a little bluer here, but I'm going to put some earth color in it. Who cares? I'll just move it around. Kind of clean this up a bit.
Sorry, Tom, I can't see it very well. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so I'm just going to get in like this, rub it in, rub it down, rubby-dubby, rubby-scubby, rubby-dubby. See, just get it in, kind of clean things up. If you lose stuff in here, don't worry about it. Fumato these edges out. Just kind of go for it. Don't even worry about it. Go like this. Look, go back and forth this way. You don't care. It's kind of weird back here. It doesn't make much sense. Just da, 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 da. Get it down there. Then grab more white and make it even muddier. Kind of a strange word to use in art, huh? But you know, usually you hear a book say, they say, you don't want mud in your painting. Well, I guess I'm here to tell you, you do want mud in your painting. Because if you don't have mud underneath, you don't have anything. You've got to have that mud in there. Now I'm going to add some nice color in here, kind of a peachy color. Is this painting looking beautiful now? Kind of nice when you finish. I need to put some of these, more of these up here. So let me do that first. My wife thinks they're electrical things, you know, like for in the old days, like antennas and stuff. She's probably right. She's the electrician around the house. She turns the lights on and off. I just leave the lights on. That's probably not good. Anyhow, so now I'm going up here. There's quite a few of these actually, all over the. If you look at the copy, the original, there's just a bunch of these up here, and they're not really done well. Some of them, the guy just taps it. Just goes bump, bump, bump. He just like nervously tapping. Probably drank about 6 cups of coffee or whatever. Let's get a little dark in here. And I'm going to put a ridge of light over that. See, I just go back. I'm going back into my circle deal. Back into my circle deal. Where I'm going, I'm revisiting the circle. Also, I noticed something here. Need a little bit of holidays are in there, so I can clean that up. And now you just need to, you know, this is like you can create this atmosphere in here. Like you don't have to do everything exactly the way the artist did it, guys. If you want more light inside this, you could just go in and pick up more light like this. This is called refinement. Refinement is a big deal in art, where you go in and you just start refining everything. You wait for the paint to dry a little. You pick up stuff, you just kind of keep refining it. If you get too much, you know that you've done too much. So you got to back off, talk to yourself. Talk to yourself a lot. I don't have any lines over here, so I'm kind of jumping all over the place, because in your refinement, you're always like, what do I need? What do I need? You just need more of this and more of that. This is just white. And I'm going to go back here now and add a little bit more of that back here, because I kind of don't have this extra stuff in. Just want to put a little bit more in there. And you learn after a while, at this refinement stage, you're not doing much. You're just kind of playing with the paint, drawing a little, putting stuff in like this. You're not trying to do too much. You're just kind of playing around with the colors and stuff. And then you can get more white. I'm just grabbing more white, and go back to your awning if you want. See, this is all about you. Put more in your awning. Now, see, that's very damp right now, so I would do a lot to avoid that. Then, watch this, guys. Let's take some of this yellow over here, put it on this side, just kind of make a new medium tone. I'm going to stay out of that because all the red I grabbed. And I need more white in that. I don't want it clean. I don't want it too good. I want it kind of muddy. There it is. See, that mud is key. All right, now I'm going to take the small part of the palette knife right here, and I'm going to go up here. I'm just going to look for things I didn't do well. And you know, that's a big statement for me. I know I didn't do things well because sometimes you just don't. Now, see what I did there? See, I came into these and I just kind of pulled down. See that? Because I do a lot of things that I don't do well, and then I just keep cleaning everything up. That looks nice, huh? A little bit there. Now, if you keep doing the same thing, then everybody's going to think you're just painting the same thing all the time. Put that in. Now, that gave it a little extra flair. So if I did it there, I'm thinking clockwise, maybe I should go over here and do something there. So I made my weird muted kind of a tan tone. And I got places to go with this because I'm keeping the colors centergenic. So I'm going to go up here now. Been avoiding this for a while. Maybe even go up on one. That was kind of good. Do you see that extra color? About a little bit on this one. And if you don't see it, then you might just have to invent it. Now, I said I wanted to put light over that. But before I do that light, I want to put, you know, I'm talking to you and I'm actually thinking about what should I paint? I want to put some of this in the ground because it's actually there. So I'm going to confiscate some white over here. More. Okay. I hope everybody likes this painting. All right, put a little bit there. And now I want a little bit in the ground because it's just, you know, it's synergenic. It goes everywhere. Now I'll just mute it down with a little bit more white. But see that color, if it's not, look, it's got to balance with that over there. It's got to do something like that. I see some gold in there too, see? That's so pretty. Look at that, you guys. You know why Buck's, who said that the other day, why Buck goes, he sighs or whatever? How can you not sigh? That's ridiculous. You got to sigh. It's too good. Look, more of this color. Every artist does this. Even Bill did it when he was filming. He was like, it's so great. Tell yourself you're the greatest painter in the world. And then you will be the greatest painter in the world. And before you know it, everybody be loving you and you'll have a good time. That's how it goes. Now let's put a little gold over here, guys. I'm going to go to my good color that Lori made me do. No, watch. So a little red in here with the yellow. And I'm going to put a little bit in here too.
Raise the camera, Tom.
Okay, you see how my mind is just on the painting. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit in here. Just pull down a smidgen of it. You don't need a lot because you're in a lot of shadow over here. And colors on mud, but I'm trying to prove my point about Delacroix. Look, the mud, this is the mud all under here. And then you have all these beautiful colors going into it. You see? On top of the mud. Top of the mud. Okay. Now I could make this darker up here, which I will. A little more brown. A little more blue. Brown and blue. One of the biggest things in painting is being patient. Sometimes it looks like you're getting nowhere, but you will, it'll come to, it'll happen. Just be patient. It could be very taxing, you know, you'd be very frustrated. Especially when I keep saying I'm going to put light on that right there and I don't. Yeah, I just need it more dark up there. I'm going to put some on the other side. Just same dark. Oh, kind of refined that a little bit. Now I'm going to destroy that down there. Here, I want to do that one more time. Right there. I want that to be nice. There you go. That's what I wanted. I wanted to give it a little curve. That's my own little thing, guys. I gave it a little bend because if it's perfectly straight, things don't look that great when they're perfectly straight. Now, I'm going to do what I said. I'm going to grab some white, put it down here, lift it up because it's kind of thick, and there's a little ledge right here. Right here that I just want to bring out. I never really got it before. Looking good, looking good. See that, guys? And now I want to hit the top of that just a little bit. Now, this is just, it's not pure white, but it's very good. It's not like super muddy. So there is a kind of like, okay, you got mud and you got super mud. And that was good. Same, more white down here. I don't know, you guys, I'm kind of liking the painting now. And you have to be patient because this is where all of that light goes on the dark. Okay. I want a little more white in there. I'm just going to grab magic white and see if that'll lay on better. Sometimes a thinner paint will go on a thicker paint. And that did work. Do you see that? Look. Oh, yeah. Oh, all right. Everybody can clap now. See the magic whites. I put that thick white there. It didn't work well. Then I put the thinner white on top, and the thinner white stuck to the thicker white. And here I need to make this look like it's just, nobody understands this because there's so much just stuff back here. Nobody cares. All right, now looking pretty good there. I'm going to put a little more dark in these and maybe a little bit more light in those. So let me get the light in these first up here. So I'm going to take this color I have down here, this grayish tone. This is my off gray color I made earlier. I'm going to use a small part of the knife. This has got more brown and a little touch of blue in it, actually. So if I want to bring this out just a little bit more.
Bring the camera up.
I got it. I got you. I saw that. I caught it, Lori.
All right. Thank you.
Boy, that was good. All right, ready? Okay, now I just have to clean it up a little bit. So I'm going to go the other way.
Tom,
Now,
we would just hate to miss any of your strokes. That's all.
I said what?
I said we would just hate to miss any of your strokes. That's all.
Okay. Thank you. So I want to go that way and kind of, you know, you kind of get in here and you kind of, it's not perfect in there. It's not supposed to be. All right, a little bit more light in that. I'm just grabbing the same color. And you see how I'm just kind of playing with it. I'm not really trying to do it too well. Just trying to make it look like it's got the idea of it. Well, that was good. Now, I don't know, you guys. I think I'm pulling this off. I wanted to give you guys a, I know we're running out of time, but for this amount of time, I think I did a pretty good job considering it's just one Alexander palette knife can do anything if you know how to do it. And you can do it. All you got to do is sit down and try it. Anyone who's trying this, that means you, Frank, because I heard it earlier. You are a brave character, a brave person. Don't let this defeat you is what I'm getting at. You can do it, Frank. Go for it. If you have to turn your brush in 1,000 directions, do it, Frank. I'm all over it. I'm all over it with you. I'm here for you, is what I'm saying. So I'm going back to the brightest light over here. This would be anything you want super bright. Okay. Wow, Thomas Anderson. Do what Bill said, you guys. Talk to yourself. Tell yourself you're the greatest. No, he meant it. Tell yourself you're the greatest artist in the world and believe it. You don't want to put a bright light right in that window. This is going to be Tom Anderson's move. Okay? Nothing to do with this artist, whoever he was. What was his name? Freelum. Okay. White. A little lower. White, yellow, white and yellow. And I'm going to get like a dollop of them. Look at that, guys. But I want to add an extra beam of light in there. And I'm going to pick this one because it's the dark one, but I'm going to go right here and beam me up Scotty. Look at that. Oh, okay, a couple more lines and we're done. It was a lot of fun, you guys. I didn't know, I probably wouldn't have had this opportunity to do this except for my Beyond class because of the shutdown and everything. We were able to bring this to you. That's nice that we could do this. Okay, so I need more lines in here just to kind of finalize this. I need them in here. See, it's always this 5-minute deal where I noticed that whenever I was doing my television show, it's always the 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes that you got to get it done in 5 minutes. Those are those half-hour shows. But we don't do that on our Beyond class. We take the time to do it quite a lot to get it there. So that's the beauty of that Beyond class, you guys. I walked through this 8 or 9 times so you could really get it down. Now, there's the difference between this and the just showing you how to do it and actually getting the video. The video is what you get. You get to watch it over and over, which is nice, really nice. I think that's going to look good. See how nice that's working? Scrape that off. Sorry about that. Got to get a little action in there, Let me see. And I'm going to put a little light on those beams. All right, so watch, you guys. Somebody left a very good compliment to me yesterday when I got off of the thing. I appreciate that. I want that person to know that. I put a lot of years into this, you guys. So I want that person who left that great comment to know that I really appreciate that. Okay, I'm getting a light color, and I'm going to put some light on those beams. Sometimes you just got to get the light and the dark, And sometimes you want the light in there with the dark. It just looks better. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm just putting light on it. Oh, didn't get enough. Hold on. Sometimes you don't get enough. All right, you ready? So I ran out of magic white over there. That's why you keep this over here, so you don't have to keep pumping it out. And that's what Rembrandt would do. He would literally work with two. See, I used all that white up for the muddy everything, and I keep this over here just in case I want a spotlight. Oh, by the way, let me show you something else on the spotlight. Might as well. Sometimes you can do this. Watch this. Sometimes you can just grab pure white, like this, and right in your yellow spotlight. Everybody pay attention. This is a good one. Right in here, be very careful or let it dry. Then come in and just hit the very middle. Bam! Did you see that? Woo! Wee. That was good. That's important. I want you to know that. Oh, there was highlighting this a little bit. I just thought you'd like that. I'm very happy I showed that to you. So one last thing here. And you know, like I probably want to put a little more white up in there. Maybe highlight something on there a little bit. There you go. You just want to kind of get some kind of light on some of those beams. I'm just grabbing some light color. And you don't even have to do it accurately because the focus is, that's not your focal point. Your focal point is back here, way back in the distance. So let's do this. Oh, a little thick there. So you got to focus. You get a little sloppy. Sometimes things don't work out. Let me do that. Let's do this. You can get sloppy, but then you can correct it too. That's not a big deal. Just go back and carve it up more. Take it out if you want. Rub it in. There you go. That looks better. I just sort of blended it. All right, we're ending it off right here. One last thing, and then we are done, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you really enjoyed this. I'm just picking up more of that kind of tan color light. And I looked back here and I saw these people need a little bit of extra light to really make them out. So it's right back here. I'm going to use the tip of the knife. I just want to kind of hit something on there to make it pop more. And see, I want to go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. I'll blend this out a little bit so it looks normal, looks right. Well, you guys, for the amount of time that I did it on here, all palette knife, I hope you guys enjoyed this. you.